All right, so we're live. My name is Jerry from Gordon at Games. Um, we are playing Mothership tonight. Um, we have four lovely players ready to find out what this sci-fi horror is about. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and your characters, we'll go from there.
I'm Casey. Um, my character is a Teamster. That's about all I know.
I am playing Cameron Bradali, and Cam for short. She's a scientist.
Hi, I'm John. I'm playing Gunnar Thorson, who is a Marine.
I'm Steven, and I'm playing Tone, who is also a Marine.
Awesome. So, for a split moment, everything is dark. You don't feel like you're asleep, but you don't feel like you're awake. You don't feel peace, but you don't feel anything like hostility or anything like that. And then each of your eyes open to a bright white light, and you all find yourself suspended in fluid. You're inside of a tube with various tubes and wires running out of your body. And in front of the chambers, you see a man kind of pacing back and forth, and then you see him go over to the console uh, that's in the room, and the each of the cryo chambers open up and spill their contents out onto the ground. Um, you feel like the tubes and stuff wrench free of your body, and you lay there naked and cold on the ground in front of these cryo chambers. You look around and you can see two large doors, like double doors, I guess, uh, that are closed. You can see the console where the man that you assume freed you from your cryo chamber is standing, and it looks like what you can tell is like a medical bay and an armory, and you can see the locker room nearby. The man at the console finishes, pressing random buttons and comes over and stands above you and says, "Get up! Something's not right with the ship. Your clothes are in there." And he gestures towards the locker room.
Okay, so I imagine at this point I'll be sort of trying to struggle to my feet, slightly favouring my right hand side, looking around, blearily trying to sort of like lock onto anything that seems familiar to me, just sort of steady myself. And then when he says, "Oh, your clothes are over there in the lockers," I'll sort of still sort of bleary-eyed, holding my hand up in front of my face against this like white light, start stumbling over in that direction to look for my clothes.
And then also, this is the only time I'm going to do this game, because like mechanically it doesn't call for this. But I'd like each of you to take 2d10 stress.
Okay.
Just start it off with.
So that's 19 for me.
I got 17.
Good.
I got 5.
Just mark that down. So Gunnar makes his way to the locker room.
Yeah.
As you're making your way to the locker room, you're starting to realize that you can't really remember your own name. You don't know where you're at. You don't know who this man is that's standing over you, telling you what to do. You don't recognize any of the people, but you do each look down and you have this tattoo, and it has a series of numbers probably like 16 numbers in total. The cryo chambers that you were in match those numbers, and then when you get into the locker room, those numbers are each above the lockers. Um, and I assume you guys are gunner. At least you open your locker to get your clothes and stuff like that on.
Yeah, I'll sort of realizing what these tattoos are and they match. I open the lockers, look at what's in there, and then start pulling on whatever clothes I can find.
And then each of you also, if you guys are all doing the same thing, um, has like a personal effect. And I guess I'd like to keep that up to you guys. Like whether it be like a picture of a girlfriend or your mom or a dog or something like that in the locker. At this point, you're starting some of your memories starting to come back. Um, you remember your name, and that's about as far as you've got. Um, the man that kind of bossed you around stands in the doorway of the locker room, and says, "Oh, your memory will come back soon. You'll be disoriented for a little while."
Out of character, like, have we grown up on this ship, or did we once live on Earth and we've just been sent out?
You definitely didn't grow up on the ship. Um, like whenever you get your memory back, you'll remember Earth and the people on it and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I go. Oi, do you have anything for this bleeding headache? Then I feel like I've been out of the club all night.
Well, I wish that I could say yes, but all the medical supplies are in the med bay.
You said there was something wrong with the ship.
Yeah, I was awoken. I'm assuming it was from some sort of emergency procedure. The power's been flashing, um, and now it's not even really on at all. It's just the auxiliary power. Um, he motions over to the console, and you can see like a hand crank kind of flipped out of the side of it, um, which you can assume is used to get a little bit of power, so you can use the console.
Do we have any idea what sort of problem or threat it is? I say, sort of trying to shake my head to clear it a little bit.
I've been trying to run some analysis on the ship. It's not really coming back super clear, but I think it's something to do with the core.
You said it's like an electrical unit on the wall.
The console, it's more like a desk, like in the middle of the room, like a desk with all the like buttons and fun shit.
Okay. I think just instinctually, more than remembering anything about what I do, I'll move over towards the console because it seems like something that I would have messed with while I was awake.
Definitely. What are you trying to do with the console?
And well, if it's a computer, if I can, I guess I'll run a computer use on it and see if I can tell if it'll tell me anything about what's going on.
So yeah, roll intellect plus any modifiers that might apply.
Okay.
And you're rolling under.
All right. So I just roll percentile to do that?
Yep.
Okay. And I get a +10 because computers. Okay. So, boom. Oh, and intellect. Oh no, I failed by a lot. I got a 90 over 53.
So you realize that that the power issue is kind of corrupting the diagnostics, so it's not giving you a clear readout. What you are able to pull up is a map of the ship, and you can see where the core is. but you have no idea where you're at on this map. And it gives you an idea of the scope of the ship. And this thing is absolutely massive. And you're starting to remember a little bit more now when you see the map, and that there are thousands of people on this ship in cryosleep. And
Ah, alright, why didn't you wake one of these other blokes up? I'm sure that they could have done a much better job than me at this. I can barely remember what I'm doing.
what are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, after I got dressed, I imagine I'd like to find a weapon of some sort.
So the armory is right there. You try the door, but it's sealed tight, just like the med bay. But there are in the locker room. You did notice that there was an emergency riot control. Like you said, saw a plaque for like emergency riot control, and there's stun batons in there.
Okay.
I
Can I take
I would
a
grab one of those if there's enough to go around.
Yeah, there's definitely 4 of them for sure. Also, I forgot to say, my fault. There is 6 cryo chambers total in this area, and one of them, so you assume that the captain had to come out of one. You guys came out of the other 4, and then the other one is completely empty. The captain looks at you guys and he says, "I can't get these doors open with this auxiliary power. It won't run the door operations."
Now, I could try jimmying it open.
I was going to say, is there a manual override?
I've got a skill with mechanical repair and
Yeah, me too.
what is jury rigging? Is it like jerry rigging?
Yeah, it's like impromptu engineering,
Oh, okay.
I guess. So if you want, you can try to pry the door open. You do look around and you do see like that there's a ventilation system. And for some reason, the vent is open on the ventilation system.
Mechanical repair.
Yeah, and if you guys are helping each other, I add another 15 to the roll.
Okay.
What are we rolling?
I thought you guys were trying to get the door open.
Yeah.
What will we roll with?
D100 percentile.
Okay.
Okay, so my intelligence, which I guess is the set I use for this, is a 53. And I have plus 10 on that for mechanical repair, and I got a 22. And I think you said add a 15 to it.
Well, and 22. By the way, guys, doubles are critical. So if you get a 22 or a 44, and that's a success. It's a critical success. If it's a failure, it's a critical failure. So keep note of if you get doubles or not. So you're able to kind of pry this door open, and you get a look into this corridor, and it's completely dark out there. Like there's a little bit of light in the area where you're at from the cryo chambers, and then from the console, and from like running lights that are really dim, but it is completely dark out there.
Is this the armory?
I assumed it was one of the big bay doors.
Oh, no, I was trying to open the armory.
Oh, sure. So, yeah, you're in the armory, and you see various weapons and like body armor. So the weapon, like the standard rifle, is the SMG, and if anybody equips that, it's 40-10 for damage.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the armory door opens, I'm going to sort of move into there, having picked up one of these stun buttons, sort of like have a quick look around, make sure there's no obvious danger in there, and then with that whole sort of like muscle memory thing, I'll sort of go in, pick up one of these SMGs, start throwing body armor on. You know, it's obvious that I've like done this before, and it's sort of helping me to remember a bit. Like I said, that whole muscle memory thing, and I'll be like checking out this SMG, making sure it's all working, etc. So tooling myself up basically.
Oi, you're welcome. I got the door open for you.
Thanks.
And if you're putting body armor as a Marine, you get plus 15 to your armor save. And then we'll just leave it at that. We'll just ignore the rest of this. The stuff that goes along with it. It's just like more like bulletproof armor.
I'd like to move to the beta door and try to get that open.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll for it.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna grab a stun baton out of this room. And do they have a meta scanner in here? A med scanner?
Not in the armory.
All right, I'll just grab the stun baton just in case I need it.
All right, so I rolled a 64. If I'm adding to 10%, right?
You added 10% to the number that the target number that you're trying to roll for that.
And I based the target number off of what?
So like, how are you trying to open the door?
I assume there was a panel, a little number pad or maybe a card pad or whatever.
So I guess use intellect and then add any modifiers that are pertinent. So like, if you have, say, the mechanical repair, you can add that.
I'm trying to roll under that score then, correct?
Yep.
Okay, that's a failure then.
A failure. So you realize that these doors are that the power has to be completely on for these doors to work. And then maybe you even might remember that the door that you're trying is the door to the the bridge.
Okay.
So,
would it come off to me where I can turn the power on it?
The captain said that he thinks it's the core. He wasn't able to get like a proper diagnostics, but that's the only plausible explanation to him.
You said it was the core?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
On the map, you can see that it's literally in the middle of the ship, but for some reason, the map doesn't show you where you're at.
Oh. I guess I'd be looking around, maybe just a way out as I was going to watch everybody.
The ventilation shaft has a panel that has been already taken down.
Yeah, I'll put that out and say, hey guys, it looks like we can get out of this room. I don't know if everybody wants to join me, but that's where I'm going to go. Try to get the power back on.
Well, I definitely think we should get the power back on because we're reliant on it for most of the ship's systems. And I move up next to him, obviously having sort of equipped myself with that thing. You know, you stood by the door with a rifle racer. When and if the door opens, if there's any unpleasantness, you can be ready to go through it.
Is there any like weird smells or sounds in the ship? It's like something that would, well, I guess I can't say recognize, but something that's just off-putting.
I mean the way that the area is lit is pretty off-putting because the main power is not on, so it's just this kind of faint glow. And then like every once in a while, like there's like a kind of like a power flash. The lights get a little brighter, and then it dims back down.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, in the armory, were there any sort of like short range comm like headsets or anything similar?
They are already on your uniform.
Cool.
I've got a bioscanner. Does it? How I don't know how this works, but I'm assuming it just picks up life forms. Like, does it detect any?
Do we have our gear?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think you missed that part. All your gear is basically like separated in between the appropriate areas. So like a bioscanner is probably in the med bay, which is locked, and then all of your weapons and stuff like that are in the armory, and then your clothes and whatnot were in
On the doors, are there any sort of like I don't know, like manual sort of like release like handles or anything that can be used in if there's like a power failure to like manually open the doors?
No, it looks honestly, guys. It looks like the only way out is that ventilation shaft.
I'm going to ask the captain if he has any flashlights for when the power goes dark.
I think that would also have been in your locker room, in your locker as well.
Okay, so I turn to the others. I'll say, it looks like we're going to be going through the ventilation shaft then, since that door's not opening. Do you want me to go first and make sure it's safe?
Yeah. And I'll just back up out of the way, but try to follow like right behind him.
How many people here are Marines?
2 of us, so I'll take up the back.
Okay.
Okay, so my plan is to sort of head in through the ventilation shaft, so like a little bit ahead of the rest of the group. That way, if I get into any trouble, I can sort of shout back to them, and they'll still have time to withdraw if they want to.
What's I just want to point out what's not go bursting and running. We could maybe not full stealth by any means. Like, I don't see reason to do that, but just not clanking into stuff we don't have to clank into.
I agree, and my plan is, like I say, to basically sort of like, so I'm assuming this ventilation shaft's like fairly small, like, you have to sort of crawl down it or something similar. Is that correct?
Yeah, you definitely have to army crawl inside of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't know why, but I was picturing like an airplane hangar size ventilation shaft.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna start sort of crawling with my gun as best I can, so like crawling down, so using my elbows down this ventilation shaft. My plan will be like when I get to the first turn or when I get a good distance in, if I've not encountered any issues, to then shout back to the rest of the others that they can follow up.
So you make your way into the ventilation shaft, and you do exactly as you said. The only issue that you have is that it is like really choked with like wires and tubes. But other than being cramped, there's not really much of an issue.
Okay, so I imagine like, before I got on, I'll have done that sort of thing, where you tape your flashlight to the top of your gun, so you can just like point the gun. So I'll be sort of like crawling down, using that to light my way as I go. And when I've gone a reasonable distance, I turn my head briefly, shout back down over my shoulder. Looks like it's all clear through here. Be careful though, there's plenty of wires and tubes and electronics about. It's a bit of a squeeze. I'm continuing forward, and then I'll start sort of crawling forward again.
Yeah, and I would just be right behind him, falling silently.
And then
I'm following the Marines.
Oh yeah, so then I have Cam go in, and then
all right, so you guys make your way into the ventilation shaft, and it becomes like you're crawling for a while. You hear your captain's voice, and he says, "What's the status, guys?" As you're crawling, and the ventilation shaft is getting ever more tangled and cramped with these wires, and you guys each start feeling claustrophobic. So I want everybody to make a fear save.
Okay, what do we have to roll for a fear? Oh, fear save. Yeah, there we go. See it. That's an 11 for me. So that's a double, and it's a success.
I got a 21, so that's a success.
I got a 23. Which is a success.
What are we rolling again? I'm sorry.
A fear save.
So 20 I fail.
So take 1d10 stress and then make a stress check. This is the only time that you want to roll over your stress or over the number, I think, in most instances. So you're trying to roll over your stress.
What happens to the rest of us since you have to make a sanity save? Or is he making sanity?
Oh yeah, only if he fails the panic. So
okay. Oh yeah. When I fail. Okay.
I have a stress at 2 and I rolled a 4, so pass.
Oh, did you take the 2d10 stress earlier?
Oh. Yes. So that was at 6. So I then failed them this time.
All right, nice. Already dope. So I need you to roll 3d10, I think. Hold on. Let me get back to the chart.
What happens to the rest of us?
You all each make another fear save.
Okay.
As he starts to panic.
That's 2, so I'm fine.
7. Nice.
Yeah, 3d10 is what you need to roll, Steven. And it's a total, not like a ones place, 2. Yeah.
26.
26. Psychotic. You immediately start attacking the closest crew member until you do at least 2d10 damage. If there's no crew member nearby, you attack the environment. So that would probably be Cameron.
Wait, nah. I was behind the Marines.
He said that he took up the rear.
Well, the one Marine did, but the other Marine is in front of us. Isn't he?
I'm the one in the back freaking out.
Yeah, I'm right behind the other Marine.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess it is me then.
Yeah, we're in the middle of these two.
So the way that this works,
I thought I was in the middle of the Marines.
You roll a combat check against, and then the defending player rolls either a combat check or a armor save. And then if you both succeed your checks, then whoever succeeds by the greatest margin is the successful person.
Okay.
I believe my family is going home, so it might be loud for certain.
I rolled a 20. And my combat's 28. My dice are being kind to me tonight. This is weird.
I'm
Also,
rolling a 10, right?
Jeremy, I failed that second fear test that we made while he was making.
All right, take 1d10 stress, and then also do a stress check.
What is the stress check? It's 3d6?
No. So you try to roll over your stress that you currently have.
Okay.
With the percentile.
Okay.
No more cookies tonight. Very good. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely did that.
So you passed. All right, but you take the 1d10 stress still.
Right on.
So what does this exchange look like? And Steven, you need to roll like a combat check or something like that against Cameron?
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Oh, so crit success. Um, and then roll. What? Like, how are you attacking? Are you attacking like with a weapon or?
I think I'm just gonna be kind of like flailing with the weapon, my SMG, like flailing with it.
Uh, so like melee attack, right?
Um, so I guess I would like kind of race forward in my like panic, and since Cam was in front of me, I would just start like hitting whatever I think it is in front of me with the butt of my weapon.
So if you're hitting with the butt of the gun, you're dealing 1d10 damage for that first round of combat that you guys just had to do. And what are the rest of you guys thinking as like?
Well, I mean, I'm sort of like up at the front, so I imagine, and I'm looking ahead in this like narrow sort of confine, so I can't really see what's going on. I can just sort of hear the commotion back there, so I'm just going to sort of like glance back over my shoulder and be like, "What's going on back there?"
I'm gonna scream. I mean,
Fair.
once it gets to my turn, I'm gonna hit him with my stun baton because he's just freaked me the fuck out.
Is there any way that I could crawl over? I forget your character's name, but the Marie in front of me. Or is there a way I could just crawl over him? Whether I guess he could stop me if he wanted to or try to, but
no. If you're trying to crawl past me, I'll just sort of try and press myself into the wall as much as I can.
Okay, yeah, I'll just be pushing. I'm just pushing on you, then like trying to squeeze by.
So you're basically like trying to run away, kind of.
Well, I'm trying to just like I'm not gonna run away, but I'm just wanting for me and him to switch places, even if the geometry in that doesn't make any sense.
I think we need a roll for that to see whether or not you can that because it's like really tight.
Okay.
It's like almost shoulder to shoulder on the sides, and then there's all the wires and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like poisoning myself. I'd be collected. I'd just be like, okay, I'm gonna get past this guy.
I don't know if I can give him any bonus to that, but like I say, like trying to flatten myself against either the floor or the wall of the ventilation shaft to try and make it as easy as possible.
Let's make it a strength roll since there's no agility or anything like that in this game.
Okay. Damn. We are trying to roll under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel.
So like you're trying to like scoot up forward, but the wires and everything like that are starting to kind of wrap themselves around your legs and arms, and even like around your neck a little bit.
Like coming to life and like grabbing me?
No. Just
I'm
like
just tangled. Okay.
just tangled up.
Right on.
And then the damage that you have to do, Steven, is 10 damage before your psychosis ends. So how much damage did you deal with that first one? It was 1d10 damage for that.
4.
4.
I take 4 damage.
And then you have to keep attacking until you do 10.
When he attacks the second time, can I like grab my stun baton and like try to like hit him with it?
Yeah, if you roll your combat, that can be a counter attack if you want.
Okay.
So each of you roll combat again, and whoever has the
57.
Is that a fail?
Yeah. My combat's 28. I told you I'm a scientist.
Steven, what was yours?
40. Mine's 36, so fail.
So you guys roll again.
Okay. 42. Fail.
Uh, 35 success.
All right, another 1d10 damage.
Two.
All right. So you've done. So you say you guys have a like another round of, or at least another round or two of this. So go ahead and do that until that 10 damage happens.
Can the other two not do anything?
I don't know.
I would be trying to avoid that situation altogether, probably.
I got a 24 success. And like I said, I was swinging with my stun baton after I got it out.
All right. So depending on what his roll is, then he'll have to if he loses this round of combat, then he has to take make a body save.
Yeah. And also take 1d10 damage.
I think at this point, my character would probably start trying to push the Marine in front of me forward to Cameron. Or Cameron.
Steven, what did you get?
Yeah, what's up with your roll?
Sorry, success. I got a 34.
34. Who beat theirs by more?
I got a 24 out of 28.
34, 36. So,
All right,
Okay, so you won more.
Yeah. So you're able to kind of get that stun baton in there. Now, Steven, you need to make a save versus body, and then also deal your damage. Crystal, Cameron.
Okay. Oh, I thought he won more than I did.
No, this is 34, and you're.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, lower. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so he makes the save versus body, and I do 1d10 worth of damage. That's 2 damage.
Loads and loads of damage.
Well, more importantly, I'm just trying to stun him.
Yeah.
Can I roll against Cam for trying to just push him forward?
am I trying to roll above my body or below?
Below.
Okay, then I fail.
So you fall unconscious for 4
1
rounds.
round.
So we'll say that's like 40 minutes. So now you have an unconscious Marine, a flustered scientist, and then the Marine and the Teamster in this cramped quarters. What do you guys do?
I'm still freaking the fuck out because I was attacked by this Marine. I'm probably yelling at the other Marine like, "Oh, you need to control your man here."
He's obviously suffering from some sort of deep space psychosis or something from his cryopod. There's not a lot we can do for him now, but he's in no immediate danger where he is. I suggest we leave him there until he recovers and put on. The ship has to take priority.
Yeah, well, you stay between me and him.
I'd be quite willing to do that. However, it's not really possible to reorganize the marching order in these cramped conditions. So I suggest we push on, try and make it to the chamber we're in, and we can always come back for him later.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess my character would say, what was it that set him off?
I don't know. He just started attacking me. I was in front, and he just started flipping out, and then he started attacking me.
We have no way of knowing at the minute, and we don't know what ill effects we're going to have got from being awakened from cryo sleep with the power fluctuations. I'm no doctor, and we don't have any way of knowing at the minute, but he's unconscious now. He's in no immediate danger. I suggest we leave him and we push on, and I'm going to start moving forward again. We've got the comm systems as soon as he wakes up, if he's remembered any of his basic training, I'm sure he'll contact us on the comms and we can let him know where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start moving forwards.
All right, so we'll press forward together.
So, for what feels like forever, you guys crawl on your bellies through this ventilation shaft. Every once in a while, getting kind of tangled up and having to rearrange the wires and tubing that surround you. And then, John, your character, Gunnar, right before it's too late, or actually after it's already too late, you realize that the ventilation shaft is angling down. Um, and just as you notice that, you start to slide down the ventilation shaft head first.
Okay, so I've started to slide forward, and I'm just gonna sort of, just as I start to slide, I'm gonna like hold up my hand behind me to like the others to basically show them to stop where they are, and then as I'm already sliding forward, I'm gonna try and sort of maneuver myself around so I'm feet first, if that's possible. If not, I'm just gonna like have my gun ready and basically be ready for just brace myself.
So, if you're just gonna brace yourself, like there's also, I mean, the other option would be like maybe grab the wires or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say if there's any sort of like larger sort of bits of tubing or anything that's more substantial that I can grab hold of to try and sort of turn myself around so I'm feet first. I'm not particularly. I mean, how sort of deep is the gradient? Am I like properly like plummeting straight down, or am I just sliding?
So like whenever you realize that it was starting to angle down, and the reason why you're having trouble with it in the first place is that there's so many of these fucking wires in this area, right?
Yeah.
But the whole feet first thing is probably not going to happen. I don't think you're going to be able to flip around or anything like that. It's that tight.
Okay.
But make a strength test to see if you're able to hold on to the wires.
Okay, that's a 19, so that's a success.
So you manage to slow yourself down and you don't take any damage, but you do plummet all the way to the bottom, right? And you're kind of caught by these wires. And for a moment there, you can't really see anything because your flashlight is kind of not facing in the way that you're looking. And but then like after jostling your rifle around or whatever, you see that there is a like completely decomposed skeleton, no skin or flesh or anything like that, and it doesn't look like there's been any skin or flesh on this thing in a very long.
Okay, so where as I'm sort of like shining my flashlight around, where I've managed to stop myself, is there like more of this this ventilation shaft in front of me?
No, you're at the grate, and also make a fear save.
Okay.
Is the skeleton in the shaft with us?
Yeah. So you guys are at the top of the shaft. You just watched him slide down.
Yeah, and we have no idea. Like, can we hear him hit? Like, do you make a sound whenever you?
Well, I've passed the fair save, so as I've sort of stopped myself and I've seen this body in the grate in front of me, I'm going to activate my comm system that's on my uniform to the others, and I say we've got one confirmed casualty down here. There's a body at the bottom of the ventilation shaft, but I seem to have reached the gate. If you're going to follow me down, be careful. It's a bit of a slide.
And you do notice that the number on the shoulder of his uniform matches the empty cryo chamber number.
Is it possible, sort of very roughly, based on the level of decomposition, to judge like how long he's been here?
So without like proper examination, the most you can tell is this body doesn't stink. There's no skin on it at all. right? There's no flesh and there's no bugs or anything like that. I don't know how much you can glean from that, but um, it's definitely not a fresh skeleton. That's for sure.
Okay. Is it possible for me to sort of reach around the body to access the grate?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I'm going to sort of very tentatively sort of like poke the grate with the end of my rifle, just sort of testing like the strength of it, like how difficult I think it's going to be to knock the grate out.
I mean, you're gonna have to give it a decent push.
Okay, so still on the comms to the others, I'm going to say, moving on from the body, I've reached the grate. I'm going to head in, and I'm assuming based on the fact it's gone down that this grate's going to be in like the ceiling of a chamber.
So the way it was, you know how like a slide, it's like steep and then it flattens out again.
Oh,
right. Like imagine if like the grate was at like the bottom of the slide, not
okay.
So it's more like you can like you flash your flashlight out there and you can tell that you're at ground level at the grate, so you're going to be crawling out.
Yeah, my plan will be to kick the grate out effectively and then like move out.
Guys, when he says that, I'm gonna beep into the comms and say, like, hold on, I'm right behind you, and then I'm gonna like start moving down.
Yeah. So
okay.
after seeing him slide down like that, I don't think that it would be hard to like keep yourself from not doing that if you had witnessed somebody do it. So
yeah,
it's not really requiring.
Yeah, I mean, if I've got that comm telling me to wait, I won't keep the grate out yet. I'll be sort of waiting at the bottom, like trying to assist whoever comes down after me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and again, it's still fucking like impossible to turn around. You can barely look behind you, but you make it down no problem. Same thing for Cameron if she's following.
If the skeleton, like when I get down to the bottom, does it look like I could? You can do that. Sorry. Oh, okay. Cool. Does it look like I could touch it or check it out? Maybe not thoroughly, but a little more.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
Like if I could tell if it was like a man or woman. Is there a way I can roll other skills if I'm not trained in them?
Yeah. So like something like that, I guess, would be intellect without any bonuses.
Okay. Well, I was like seeing like if I guess with the direction I'm heading is this a person that was in the cryo chambers? I think is what they're called.
Well, the numbers on the shoulder of the uniform match the numbers of the cryo chamber that.
So everybody on the ship would have been in the cryo chamber then.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I get down there, I have biology. Can I use biology to attempt to determine cause of death?
Sure.
Okay.
And I think if you guys are all like by now, like there's no way for all of you to have done this like concurrently. So I'm imagining that the vent kind of gets kicked out. Guys exit kind of one by one, check the skeleton out.
Yeah. I got a 13 and my intellect is a 53 and then a plus 10 to biology, so 63.
You can tell that this skeleton had its neck broken, presumably by like a sudden stop, right? Because the skeleton is all tangled up in the wires, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, and honestly, you might even think, wow, Gunner, this almost happened to Gunner just now.
Can I determine sex?
So I guess I'll give it to you with that roll. Like you're, the person is a male.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll say such and such bones determines that sex was a male, and it looks like that cause of death was broken neck. Of course, he's very decomposed. The captain hadn't said anything about this, has he?
Do you think the broken neck was caused by a fall down the shaft?
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
I mean, that seems to be the case here, unless the captain did it and he's like framing it as such or something.
Paranoid disposition.
And then I would say even that it took a long time for you guys to get down to this area. Like the crawling was slow going, and it felt like miles of crawling at that. And right around now, what was your character's name again, Steven?
Tone.
Tone. Tone wakes up in the dark by himself, and I'm gonna go ahead and say another a sanity save as you wake up.
Fail.
Fail. All right. Take 1d10 stress. Actually, I'll roll the stress. 2
Okay.
stress, and then make another stress check.
Fail again.
You failed the stress check. Wait, are you rolling under the stress or are you rolling over?
Oh wait, am I trying to get under it or over?
This is the stress is the only one that you want over it.
Oh yeah, I got under.
Oh, you got under.
Yeah.
So yeah, roll the 3d10 for your panic. Luckily, no one else is around.
13.
13.
What's neat?
I didn't think the panicking was going to happen yet, honestly.
Neither did I.
I thought it was going to be a lot longer than this. All right. What did you say you got again? What did you get, Steven?
I don't know if I had one yet.
That was a 13.
13. You gain 1 stress. And for the next 1d10 hours, you must make a fear save to engage in combat or flee. So for the next 8 hours. All right.
Holy shit.
After I freak out, do I start moseying forward?
Yeah, I mean, and do you like contact the others or?
Yeah, I guess I calm down and realize I should message them over the comm. So I say, "Hey guys, I just woke up. Where is everyone at? I'm freaking out."
We've moved forward. There's a slope in the ventilation shaft with a body at the bottom. Seems to be one of the people out of the cryo tubes. We've moved forward into the chamber beyond and are just about to continue exploring. Have you got it? Have you got yourself together?
And after he ends that real quick, I jump in there and he just attacked somebody like, and this isn't over the comms, but don't just tell him like to come catch up with us. We need to somehow check on him from a distance.
I sort of like put my hand over like the microphone effectively, and I say we do need to check up on him. However, unless anyone here has any medical training that would allow them to assess his condition over such a distance, we're going to need him to be close to do that.
He has a gun.
So, of course he does. He's a Marine.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of stare at my feet. And,
Yeah, well, we could get him to the med bay, but You're gonna need to get that gun away from him first. I'm not gonna go into a room with someone loaded with automatic weaponry.
How about we just tell him that he has to give us the gun until we can prove that he's back?
That's fine. I can meet him at the exit from the ventilation shaft and tell him to turn over his gun until he's been checked out and deemed medically sound. As for being in a room with someone with automatic weaponry, you're already in a room with someone with automatic weaponry.
I mean someone who's attacked me.
Yeah, that's the only reason
Next time they may shoot me.
Yeah, I don't want him coming up here with postal intentions.
Good point. And back on the comms, I'll say, Tone, follow the ventilation shaft. Be careful of the slope. You should see a body at the bottom of it. We're in the chamber beyond. We're going to have to get you checked out. You've already attacked one member of the group. When you reach us, turn over your weaponry until you've been deemed medically sound to have it back. Are you receiving?
I do. I hear you loud and clear. I'm already on my way. And so Tone has already been kind of crawling forward.
All right, so you guys are standing at the exit of the ventilation shaft, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I'm basically going to have my gun ready, so in the unlikely event that Tone comes out sort of like madly panicked and like firing his gun off, I'll get the others to stand behind me and I'll have my gun ready just in case.
You guys take a glance like up and down the hallway as you're standing there?
I was, while they're protecting the vent, I was gonna say, like, I want to look around and see if I can find like a map on the wall, see if I can get any direction of where I'm at.
I mean, I would use the term wall loosely on this ship. It's more of like series of pipes and like conduit and stuff like that you assume holds water and transports air and stuff like that. As for like finished walls and stuff like that you don't see anything like that. And really indication of direction at all. But what you do see is down the hall from where you're at, it looks like the like there's large bay doors like the ones that you were that were in the bridge or near the bridge earlier, but they've been pried open and it looks like something is hanging in the doorway.
Hanging?
Yeah, I'm not gonna approach that. I'm gonna go back to them and I'm gonna let them know. Like, yeah, there's something hanging in the door.
What do you mean by something? Like, is it a small something or?
It's definitely something dangling, and like if you keep your flashlight on it to get a good look, you realize that it's a person hanging there.
Like as if they've hung themselves?
Almost like somebody hung them there.
Hmm. I should probably make a sanity check then.
By their neck, then.
That's what it looks like from where you're at, yeah.
Okay.
So should I make a sanity check or?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody who sees this should make one.
I got a 10, so I succeed.
Oh, fine.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
And then what do you do once you see this body hanging there?
I just want to be watching all the corners of the room.
I'm gonna gasp and fall back.
So, like, glancing over in their direction, I'll say, "Do you want me to cut the body down? I can't do that while I'm waiting for Tone to arrive. So, if you need me to, one of you's gonna have to watch the vent."
Well, let's just take it slow and maybe I can run up and scout out ahead before we just jump in there. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump on the comm and I'm gonna say, Captain, what the hell is going on here?
And the captain returns with, "Your guess is as good as mine. I woke up like an hour before you did."
Oh yeah, report back that we found a body that's been like how have we already reported the decomposed body that was in the ventilation shaft?
We didn't.
Yeah, I'd report that and explain that there's another hanging uh, further along the path.
Right. Based on how long it took us to get here from our previous position, how long do I think I've got before Tone reaches our current position?
Well, it took you about 40 minutes to get from where Tone is at to where you're at now. So about that time frame, like 40 minutes.
Okay, so I'm going to sort of move over to get a closer look at the body, and then I'm going to say to the others, I think we should probably cut this body down before Tone gets here.
Okay, in the beginning of all this, you said that there were 6 cryo chambers,
Yeah.
but there's only 5 of us. Now, this is maybe stretching, so if you don't want me to do this, it's fine. But do I remember if there was any fluid like there was when we went out? Like maybe any signs that somebody was in that cryo chamber until like a little bit before?
So I'm gonna say that at this point you remember that there are like literally 5,000 people on this ship.
Um, yeah, but I'm wondering if there was maybe somebody else on our team that's running around
Oh, so so
from that
yeah, I
6
mean,
cryo
just the
chamber.
body that the only person that's on your team per se, right? That you confirmed is the captain and the body that was in the ventilation shaft.
But do I remember if maybe somebody's out there running around is what I think or something?
No, that's not really what the vibe that you get.
Okay.
But so I guess John took a break. Let's all smoke real quick or whatever you like to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then we'll get back to it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm back. If anyone else is.
Yeah, still am.
Man, I can't believe how crazy I went already.
Hey, I'm back. So, Tone is in the ventilation shaft, taking a while to get back. You guys see this dead body. By the way, the corridor stretches both ways. And this would be right of the, like, if your back was to the ventilation shaft, this would be like down the right way.
Okay, I mean, looking around the sort of the area we're in, is there any like signs or anything to indicate where we might be heading?
Not yet, no. Completely fucking. Like I said, you saw a map of the ship, but it didn't tell you where you were at, and the ship is absolutely massive.
Okay.
And while we're waiting on Casey, the like whenever you see this body, so like what was your personal effect? Like what was in your like picture or memento was in each of your lockers?
Matt,
Well,
sorry.
that's fine, go ahead.
I was just saying I'm back, and I didn't realize you were talking, so go ahead.
We were just talking about what the personal effect, like a memento or whatever you had in your locker.
I think mine would probably be my random trinket, which is like this pendant with some shell fragments like shrapnel encased in like a sort of plastic sphere.
Anybody have like pictures of family or anything like that in there?
Yeah, I put a.
Are you talking about our trinket?
No. I'm just saying. Earlier, I said that your locker would probably have like a personal effect, like a picture of a loved one or a dog or a memento or something like that.
Yeah, I put
Sure.
a sister.
A picture of your sister. So probably while you're like crawling through this ventilation shaft, your memory is starting to come back, and you're starting to remember your sister, but you can't remember if she's on the ship or not.
Okay.
Like you're having like memory flashes, but it's like unclear whether or not she's like with you, like on the ship, like she was heading for the colony or what.
So my memory flashes are back on Earth.
Oh yeah, you have memory of your sister on Earth.
Okay.
And I guess that's probably whenever you guys would start to remember how many people are on this ship too, is whenever you saw the body. And like I said, like this whole time you're having like these like kind of flashbacks that you can't really put together, of like life back on Earth. You barely remember getting on the ship. You don't remember. You vaguely remember your job.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you want us to like role play this, or?
I don't know, whatever. That's up to you guys. No, I'm just saying like the I don't know, something to talk about while we're waiting on him. But yeah. Get back to it whenever Casey gets back.
I want the hell out of this damn air duct.
Sure, I'll start.
So I could go crazy with my SMG.
I imagine while Tom's sort of crawling through the air duct to join us, I'm just going to be on the comms to him, sort of like doing up the stereotypical, like, come on, keep it together, soldier. That sort of highly comforting thing that sort of Marines in sci-fi tend to do in this sort of situation.
Remember your training.
That's it, that sort of thing. Think back to the academy.
That's probably what you're having memories of, is like basic training and shit like that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I'm falling back on at the minute, like the sort of muscle memory of the stuff I was trained to do, because it's at least something I know how to do. So it's like whatever else I've forgotten, that's at least something I remember. So that's how my character's sort of like keeping himself going. But like, I'm just going to focus on getting this task done, doing this, then we're going to move on to the next task, and I'm just going to keep doing these tasks until like it all comes back.
I'm remembering my father, and when I was a little girl, how he had these robots that he would purchase, and we would build them together. How it inspired my love for robotics and androids and all that. But I can't remember if he's on the ship with me. I can't even remember if he's alive right now.
Sweet. Completely dark corridor, body hanging in the doorway.
Mm-hmm. If I can get up to it, like if there's a ladder or something, I'll do my best to like try and like unhook the wire or something and try and like get the body to come down.
If there's not a ladder, I can always give you a boost up.
Mm-hmm.
So you touch the body?
Well, now that you ask, I mean, I'm trying mostly to like get the wire unhooked or whatever, but if, I guess I would have to touch the body. So yeah,
you get face to face with this dead body, what you assume to be a dead body. The face is covered in blood. There's absolutely all types of lacerations all over this guy. And as soon as you get face to face, like a large gas comes out of the body, and the man awakens, and his eyes get extremely large, and he says, "What? Run right now!" And as you start to as you're like face to face and you're like touching the body, a bell starts to ring, as you get near, and as he starts to kind of flail, and you look, and from the opposite direction, from way far down the hallway, you can see like a red glow, and it sounds like it's coming this way.
Okay, so I just failed my sanity check.
Yeah,
that I'm sure I need.
Yep.
So what do I need to do now?
1d10 stress. Actually, I'll roll for stress for you guys. 7 stress, and then make a panic check. So you're trying
after I add my stress.
Yeah, after you add your stress, make a stress check, and trying to roll over that number.
68 over 14.
Okay, so you're good still, not panicking, but getting ever more.
All right, yeah. So my heart throbs, but like at that moment, I managed to catch a grasp, and I managed to very carefully say to the person holding me up, "Put me down."
Yeah, I lower Cam to the ground. This bell that's ringing and this red glow, is that like any? Am I getting any sort of memories? Is it like a ship's alarm going off? Is there any sort of anything else I can determine about the red glow as I sort of swing my gun and my light towards it?
The bell itself is like a simple bell, right? That you're hearing. It's not like an electronic bell or anything like that. It's directly like if you took the time to look, you'd probably find the little thing that's making the jingling noise. And as for any kind of like memories or anything like that, it's not. It's definitely not an alarm or anything like that. It's almost like somebody's like carrying like a red glow stick, I guess. And it looks like it's moving rapidly this direction.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down to one knee, sort of lifting my gun up and pointing it in the direction of the glow, in case it's anything hostile.
Yeah, I'm gonna ready my baton.
I'm gonna begin running away.
All right. So Cameron runs past the body further down the corridor as you guys ready for impact, and Tone is in the ventilation shaft, not knowing anything about.
Can I grab? I'm sorry. What was your character's name again?
Gunner.
Yeah, Gunner.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and you're Cam. Okay, I was getting your names confused for whatever reason. If you don't fight me too hard, I was gonna grab Gunner and try to move, maybe like left, far left if I can, maybe like 15 feet, and maybe with this person running away, he might try to come at them, and we can grab him from behind.
Yeah, I mean, if it looks like you guys are sort of withdrawing, my plan will be to sort of like try and hold this area for as long as I can, and then move to follow you guys. But obviously, we know that Toten's going to come out of that air vent sort of near here, so I don't really feel that I can sort of withdraw yet until everyone's safely in this area.
Okay, I just want to flank the left then.
Yeah, so good.
All right. So you guys prepare. Cameron runs off, and this red glow gets increasingly closer and closer, and you can start to hear these howls and screams. This almost guttural, it's like noise coming from whatever this is. And whenever you hear that noise that sounds not quite human, you need to take a fear. You need to make a fear save.
Okay.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I'm good.
So
I failed.
You failed. All right. So take 8 stress, and then make a panic check. So you're trying to roll over your stress, whatever your stress is right now.
Okay, and that was 2D percentile.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. So you're not panicking, but you are getting more and more stressed out.
So as I'm sort of holding my gun waiting for this glow, I'm going to lean down to my comms and sort of say, Tone, what's your present position? We may have incoming hostiles.
And then you hear your captain say, what do you mean incoming hostiles?
We're being approached by unknown parties.
That's impossible.
I'm just reporting the situation as it stands, Captain. Repeat, Tone, what is your position?
I interrupt and say that I just slid down the thing and passing the body.
Yeah, sure, that'll work. And you pop out between Gunner and what was your character's name, Casey?
I actually haven't named him. Just call him Casey, man.
So you're between Casey and Gunner and this approaching red light, and you're the first one to get a decent look at these things. You see, like 5. It looks like they're like human almost, but They're running on all fours, and the light seems to be coming from like an anglerfish type appendage coming from their head.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Fair. As we see that, I'm just going to gesture with my head in the direction that Cam ran in and say, everyone stop falling back, and then look at Tone and say, 5-second bursts of fire. And basically my plan is to start sort of slowly like walking backwards towards where Cam's gone, firing at whatever these things are. And then just again into the comms, I'll say, Captain, hostiles confirmed, and I'll be giving like a description as I start firing.
So, and as soon as you get this good look at them, you see them stop. One of them even does like the stop motion, right? Like the military style stop motion. And then they kind of sit on their haunches for just a second right before you fire, where you might change your mind whether or not you're going to fire. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they literally stop and they're not showing any aggressive moves, then I'm going to sort of carry on slowly backing up with the others, keeping my gun trained on them. But and if they're not actually coming for us, I'm going to sort of hold my fire.
Once I see that he's holding his fire for a few seconds or moments, I'm gonna say like, "What the fuck are you doing? Shoot these bastards!" Like quiet into the mic.
As it stops and kind of sit, as they all stop and sit on their haunches, you can see them all take like these big like it looks like they're like smelling the air, right? And then they start coming towards you again. With,
yeah, I'll definitely be opening up with the SMG then.
All right. So I'll give you guys a round of combat for free. And then also let's deal with Cameron real quick before the combat. So Cameron, you've been running for a little bit now, right? Down this dark hallway, and you had a flashlight on you, right?
I asked for one.
Yeah. So I'd imagine that they would have been in every single locker room or every single locker. So, so you're running. And of course, you know how the classic, like while you're running down like a dark area, your flashlight's not really trained in front of you, so you're not really getting the whole picture. But you get tackled from the side, and this woman is like holding you, and she's like leaned up against the wall, like between like pipes. And she's got her hand over your mouth, and she's got her hand like in the shushing motion or the shushing action.
I mean, yeah. If I see her eyes and everything, I tell you what. I think to be fair, to see how I'll resolve this, I'll go ahead and I'll roll fear because I think that seems like a good fear situation.
Okay.
91. Nope, I freaked the fuck out.
All right, and why don't you take some stress over that too?
Okay.
5 stress, and go ahead and make a panic check after you take the 5 check. Stress.
A stress check.
Yeah, stress check.
Okay. 80 over 19.
Okay, so you're not panicking, but you're also not too happy about this person. She says, "Listen, shut the fuck up. Get over here now."
I mean, like, if she's kind of insistent and like restrains me, then I'll say I'll calm down. But I mean, like, my heart is going a million miles an hour.
So that's where you are right now. We'll deal with that here in just a second. Now we have you guys versus these things, right? So, like I said, if you have a ranged weapon and you want to fire on these things, combat forward.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, light them up.
All right, so roll your combat, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay, and I've got military training, firearms, so plus 15.
And then your gun sounds sound legit.
Yeah, so I passed my combat check by 41.
Yeah,
39.
I've passed mine by 20.
Okay, so basically that's just that seems kind of dumb. Let me just verify that. Is that really a miss?
I mean, I personally feel like they should both hit, but whoever got less should hit first.
Well, so the enemies don't have armor saves, right? They only have a combat, a speed, and hit point damage and attacks, right? They don't have an armor save, so it's like. Let's see. Yep, no, it's a fail. It's if you both succeed and tie, re-roll, but we didn't tie, so. Yep. All right. I don't really like that rule. So you shoot down the hallway and you miss, and it seems to fill them with like more vigor, and they start to run down the hallway. So everybody make a speed check, and I will do the same. I failed my speed check, so if
I passed.
oh wait,
Pass
that's
by
not how
10.
it works. I don't do one. You guys do. If you pass, you go before the enemies. If you fail, you go after the enemies.
Yeah, pass.
Pass.
All right. So if you, I'll let you guys go on a collective initiative, whoever wants to go.
Right, do you guys want to go first? Because I already rolled for like the attack a few moments ago.
I have to say my actions kind of depend on how well you do. If you start maybe missing a whole bunch.
Okay, Tone, do you want to go first, and then I'll go, and we'll see how we get on.
I'll aim for my sights and fire.
All right. So make a combat roll.
Success.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and house roll something if you guys want. I'm gonna say that like with ranged attacks, since the enemies don't have an armor save, I'm not gonna roll against them. If you get a success, you hit. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, you hit. So the SMG does 40 damage. It has 5 of those shots, by the way.
Okay. Uh, 21.
21. All right. So your bullet travels down the hallway and into this thing, and you're starting to get like a better look. Like I said, they look very like humanoid-ish, but they have like very distinct features. They have these very sharp claws on their hands, but they still have the 5 fingers, and they seem to be carrying spears, each of them. And they have like these deformed faces, but they vaguely look human. So yeah, it's still your guys' turn. I think everybody passed their speed check. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm following Tone's example. I'm going to also take a shot at them, which I've succeeded on. So 4d10 damage. That's 27 damage.
how much?
Quick question: since we're in the armory, do we have any of our other weaponry, or is it just the SMGs?
So yeah, it was just the standard SMG that was in the armory.
Okay. So, like I say, as we're sort of like firing, we're going to be sort of like steadily like falling back, sort of tactical withdrawal style, and then I think it's Casey to go.
Yeah, what was your damage on that? I didn't hear.
Oh, my damage was 27.
27.
Is there anything that would be popping out to me that I could do? I guess I'll just yell at you. I'll take my action if I have to, but I'll just yell at the Marines and ask where you want, like, what you want me to do.
I'll just shout, fall back, follow Cam.
Okay. And if possible, I'll start that way.
So you start running the opposite direction as the two Marines hold their ground. Again, you're getting that, that situation where you're not really seeing the whole everything that's in front of you. The flashlight's just kind of bobbing and weaving around on all the walls. It's completely pitch black. And then you reach the point where Cameron and this girl are hiding. And the girl, whenever she sees you approaching, she kind of does the whisper sign to Cameron again and lets go of her, keeps her in the the cubby hole that she's in, and runs and tries to tackle you and do the same kind of thing, get you off to the side of the hallway.
Yeah, I'll stay quiet.
So Casey, she's tackled you and she's trying to push you to the edge of the hallway and trying to cover your mouth.
I probably get freaked out and just if I realize it's them, I'd follow on.
Well, this person you've never seen before, so go ahead and make a.
I can't see Cam.
No, she's in the shadows off to the side of the hall.
Probably just try to fight them off, but they're human. Right?
Yep. This is a person. This is a human lady.
Yeah, that would relax me a bit, and I'd probably just try to, put an arm's length between me and them.
And she does the same thing. She tries to put her hand over your mouth, and she does like the shush symbol.
Okay.
Like with her finger across her lips.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of gesture that I'm following her without words.
All right. So that's where you guys are. Now we'll go back to the other two. So you guys are standing across from 5 of these humanoid mutant things. You have no idea. You've never seen anything like this before. It's not clicking any kind of flashback or anything like that. And as soon as they get close enough, they launch themselves at you. Right? So, first one hits. Second one misses. Third one misses. Fourth one misses. Fifth one hits. So I guess each of you will take 2d10. So hold on. Let me roll that damage. So 15.
Okay.
And 5. Here, I'll roll for pick high or low.
High.
All right. Steven, you take the high amount of damage, and John, you take the low amount. So Steven takes 15 damage as these things launch themselves at you, maybe embedding their spear into your shoulder, maybe into your side. Blood starts to kind of trickle down, and it is your guys' initiative.
Okay, so since they're sort of like they're in melee with us now, I'm going to let go of the SMG on sort of like whatever neck strap I've got it on, so it just hangs there. Pull out the stun baton I got earlier and just like lay into the one nearest to me.
Okay.
So make a combat roll. Okay, that is a miss.
Right, Steven, what do you do?
So like they're right up on us, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's an SMG. I'm still close enough to shoot. So yeah, I'm gonna take another shot.
All right.
Success.
All right, roll damage.
Uh, 9.
All right. So you graze the one that just stuck its spear into you, and then they are going to try again to take you guys down. So the first one hits, second one misses, third one hits, fourth one misses critically, and the fifth one hits. So one of you guys is taking 2. Pick high, low.
I'll go high again.
All right, you're taking the 2 damage. The 2 damage from the resources. So that's 13 and 5 for you, John,
Okay.
and 7 damage for you, Steven, as these things stick their spears into you. And then right before you guys are able to act again, one more, they make that howling guttural noise again. So I need each of you guys to make another fear save.
25, I'm fine.
We're going underneath, yeah.
Yeah.
Succeed.
All right, so you guys are able to keep your composure as these things start to or are in on you and howling this guttural, unnatural noise. And then it is your guys' initiative.
Okay. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I kind of am feeling like a retreat situation at the moment. So the walls and stuff are like air and water. If we were to like shoot it, could we make like kind of like a distraction to make a run?
Yeah, totally. I love that. Let's make it an intellect roll to see if you hit the right thing.
Okay. Not very smart. I do not hit the right thing.
All right. So let's make it interesting. What did you roll, by the way? How bad was it?
Well, my intellect is 25. I rolled 58.
58. So you doubled it. So it's like a real big fail. So not only do you not hit the right thing, but you hit a gas line. And instead of making like a nice steam fog or something like that to distract these guys with, both of you are blown backwards towards where the body is. But so are the other things. They're blown the other opposite direction. So maybe that's good for you. But you each take 20 damage from the explosion. Or actually, make a body save for half damage.
Nope.
Wait, what was that?
I said make a body save for half damage.
Oh. No.
And it explodes in this violent explosion. One of you even flies back and hits that swinging dead body, or that swinging dude, and like the what is it? The hallway kind of like collapses, like tubes fall in the way, and there's like this fire. And from across the fire, you can see these things like sniffing the air, and like getting near the fire but not touching it. And then they look at you, and you can really get a good look. And their eyes are like not what you would imagine something that can see, right, would look like. And even with these sightless eyes, they stare at you from across the fire.
Right. So as we're sort of like picking ourselves up from the explosion, I'm gonna sort of turn to Tone and probably like shouting because like my ears are still ringing from the explosion. I'm just gonna shout, "Join the others! I'll try and hold them here."
I will. I'll listen and start heading that way. Kind of still dazed from.
And I'm just going to sort of drop to one knee with my SMG. The plan being to buy them as much time to get as far away as they can.
Like after the like stank face look, those things retreat the other direction.
Okay, in which case I'll hold my position for a few minutes until I'm sure they're not following, and then I'll turn around and sort of follow after Tone.
Do you guys? I'm curious. Do you guys just leave that dude hanging?
Oh, he wasn't messed up by the explosion. Oh, that's right. We got knocked back to him. No, I guess then as I go past him, can I inspect like how he's rigged up?
So he's got he's. It looks like he's wired up by like stainless steel, or not stainless, but steel cable, like, but not like the really thick kind, the thinner kind. And it looks like there's a series of pulleys that go up to a bell, and the cable's around his neck, but the majority of the weight load is supported by wiring around his shoulders.
Okay, then I will. Is there anything around that I can use to help, like, get to?
I mean, it looks like honestly, like you would need some shears or something like that to cut him down,
Okay.
or you cut his butt limbs off and go him down.
Can I shoot it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, because I don't have a knife on me.
I make a combat roll at -15.
Combat roll -15?
Yep. So whatever your combat is, -15, you get under that number.
Then I would fail.
Your bullet goes straight through his head, and blood pours out onto his already bloody skin, and his body goes limp and lifeless. And then, yeah, make a fucking sanity check at that.
So that I did. I passed that.
All right. So
I guess I didn't really
all
kick
right
it.
for the moment. Now back to where Cameron and Casey are. Like hearing like the explosion, that lady, instead of like hiding anymore, she like looks like surprised, and she's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? You guys are making all kinds of noise. They're gonna get us. They're not like anything you've ever seen before."
I'm just going to slowly slide down the wall sobbing.
I'm there with them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hearing all this. Okay. I'm gonna ask what's going on, and take note of what is she wearing.
It looks like she's wearing like like almost like a mechanic type clothing, like not a uniform like you guys. It's more like tattered rags, and she's got a staff leaned up against the wall.
What's the staff made out of?
Looks like steel pipe.
Um, so from what I've seen, there's like some sort of tribal thing going on between us and these aliens. Yeah.
Fair.
Okay. Does this woman look like she can answer question?
Yeah, she speaks the language. She's already like asking you what the fuck you guys are doing.
Okay. I just explained myself. I'm trying to get to the core of the ship. What are these things? What's going on?
I'm not sure what they are, but I woke from the cryo what I assumed to be a couple of years ago. I'm not really sure. You can't tell time down here.
Are there others like you?
A few, but most of them just get eaten. You saw your friend hanging from the. Saw our friend hanging from the doorways. It's traps. They'll eat you.
How many are there of you?
Well, you said you're trying to get to the core. Right next to the core, there's hundreds of them. That's where they're birthed.
How many of you?
Well, I'm not sure. The ship's massive. I've seen one gentleman around that seems to be surviving quite well, but we try not to make contact with each other.
Why do you not make contact with each other?
It seems too dangerous. People in this type of situation, you never know what a person's gonna do.
So there's people that will attack and kill us.
Maybe. I've kept my distance from anybody that I've saw. I've almost assumed that everybody is a trap.
I'm gonna hit the comms and get a hold of them.
And I guess they would probably be. You guys had headed the other direction, right? Tone and Gunner. Yeah, so you guys would probably be walking up on this exchange right about now.
I'm kind of sobbing, but I say, like, then why did you help us?
I was out looking for supplies, and I saw you, and I thought that you were. I figured that if they caught you, that they would catch me. It's not anything that I wasn't trying to be nice.
I'm gonna look kind of knowingly at Cam and be like, yeah, like that's a good question. Like, this is how do we know we can trust her then?
I think it makes more sense to stick together in these kinds of situations.
She picks up on the look and she's like, "You're right. You probably shouldn't trust me." And she starts to walk off.
No, wait, stop. Why are we doing this? We should be trying to stick together. No, we should be trying to work together. That's what humans do best.
And she, before she continues to walk off, she stops and she says, "The only thing you can do on this ship anymore is survive." And she continues to walk into the darkness.
Whoops, I fucked that up. I'm gonna walk after her.
And she like allows you to follow her. It's not like she's like trying to stop you or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of motion to everybody like let's just follow her, and then I'll hit her up.
I'll follow as well.
Looking at Tone, what sort of state is he in? Because I'm pretty damaged at the moment.
I'm pretty bloody when you look at me, probably from the head. Probably look a bit tired too.
Yeah, likewise. So as we sort of follow the others, I'm just going to be saying we need to get somewhere with medical supplies. those things, whatever they are, they're extremely dangerous, and obviously that indicate the many and various wounds that myself and Tone are covered in.
Yeah, and as we're going, I'll look over at the girl and say, I want to apologize. So, this is just kind of a lot to take in.
Wait, should we be contacting the captain and let him know what's going on?
Yeah. Okay.
So you buzz the captain, and you hear, "Hey, what's going on? Down, down."
Looks like comms are failing.
You didn't happen to pick up one of their weapons, did you?
One of their spears? No, we didn't have a chance.
How far away are we from that little battlefield?
I'd say a reasonable distance, right? Where you could probably see the glow of the fire in the distance, but still pretty far away.
Could I, I don't want to make a bunch of noise. Yeah, okay, I'll just forget it.
Can I ask the girl if she knows of any medical supplies?
She's she kind of goes, "Good luck. Almost everything in this ship is locked down. Ever since I've been awake, the power's been down."
Well, that's why we need to get to the core. If we can get the core back up online, surely there are some kind of security systems that would activate or something that would help take care of this mess.
What was going on whenever you woke up? Has it been like this the whole time?
So I awoke in one of the big colony rooms. You see, I'm a scientist. I was brought to study or to make sure that that we had plenty of food and crops and different plants and stuff like that whenever we get to Serenity. But I awoke in one of the big colony rooms, and as I was awakened, other cryo chambers were opening, and those things were just there waiting for the cryo chambers to open. And as they would open, they would grab whatever's inside, and they would devour them. I managed to get away. I'm still not even really sure how I did that, but I found my station, and I'm still trying to maintain the specimens. But at this point, I think it's pointless.
Yeah. Where are we going?
I'm heading back to my camp, or my home, if you will.
Do you mind if we check our friend out and move on to the core from here?
I can show you where the core is, but I'm not getting any. I'm not getting near it. There's hundreds of those things. You think I already haven't thought about repairing the core?
Given how we've just fared against a small group of those things, it doesn't seem likely we're going to get past hundreds of them to get to the core.
What do you mean by there's hundreds of them? Have you seen them?
That's their. Yeah, I went there to, like you said, try to repair the core.
Have you tried? How did you get there? Did you maybe try ventilation shafts like we just did?
No, some of the doors are jammed open, and the way to the core is pretty clear. But like I said, it's not pretty when you get there.
Do we have a detailed map of the the specs or blueprints?
So you got a glance at it, and she kind of says, I honestly have just been searching for it for the past couple years, and I found it semi recently.
Okay. Let's check this out. Maybe we can figure some tactics.
Whilst having that conversation, I'm going to be talking to Tone, and I'll say, "How much ammo do you have left in your rifle?" I've got 3 more bursts.
I have 3 bursts as well.
I suggest we try. If we are going to try and reach the core, I suggest we conserve our ammunition as soon as possible and use the stun buttons unless we really need the guns.
Do we see any rubble or like steel? Like, is all the equipment around us and the infrastructure broken and like?
It is definitely not nice, right? It is like places where there's bare steel. It is rusty, and like there's like various like liquids dripping down the ceiling and shit like that.
Or if there's anything like a pipe, even if it's just or something sharp would be ideal.
So since let's just say whatever your lowest stat is, roll that, and if you succeed, then you find whatever you're looking for.
I feel.
You don't find a pipe or anything sharp or anything like that.
I ask her if there's there any weapons.
And she kind of gestures towards her staff. She's like, you basically got to use what you can find. That's what they do. And she gestures back to the fire in the distance.
Yeah.
She continues to walk, and I assume you guys follow. And you guys eventually reach some more of these bay doors, but there's like a small crack, like they've been jammed open. And the light is a little bit brighter in this room. It's not pitch black, and that kind of pours out in the hallway that you guys are in. And then she looks at you guys, and she makes the whisper motion again, or the shush motion again with her finger across her lip. And she says, "We have to cut through the cryo chamber to get there. There might be a few more of those things, or maybe the big one. God, I hope we don't see the big one."
Oh, why do you need the big one?
We want to be in the open as little as possible.
Well, we can try to.
Big one.
Oh, there's a big one. And
How big is big?
I'd say he's at least 10 foot tall.
How?
We can try to cut around the outskirts of this room. But let me warn you, it's a large room, and this is where they feed.
I'll follow.
Is everybody going to follow through the cryo chamber?
Mm-hmm.
The cryo chamber?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna follow through as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be sort of like moving my gun around, like keeping an eye on our periphery in case anything attacks us.
How wide is our Like, what's our marching order and formation and stuff?
I don't know. It's up to you guys. I know that the girl that is in your company, she is or the girl that you just met is in the lead.
I'll be behind her.
I imagine it's the girl, then Cam, then Casey with me and Tones on the flanks.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right.
I might be like watching our back a little bit, not maybe 50% of the time.
Cool.
So you make your way into this room. Like I said, it's much better lit than what you've seen so far of the ship. There's all these cryo tubes. The room is like this large cylindrical shape, and there's cryo tubes running all the way up the walls, right? Um, and then you hear it again. You hear the that guttural howling noise before you even see the creatures. So everybody needs to make a fear save at hearing that guttural howling noise.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I failed and I got doubles.
Critical fail. All right. So let's go. You're gonna take 2d10 stress instead of 1d10.
What kind of test am I doing?
Fear.
I failed it by 1.
Okay. So Casey, you take 5 stress and then make a stress check. And well, shit, that sucks. And Crystal, you take 10 stress.
So I take 5 stress in addition to my 2d10 test.
No, I rolled for it already, and you got
Oh,
5
you
on
rolled.
the 2, yeah, on the 2d10.
62 over 29.
Okay.
I need to roll a stress test, correct?
Yep. I'm trying to roll over your stress.
Sweet. Roll the 100.
I succeeded my fear roll, by the way.
All right. So, you guys aren't panicking, but 2 of you are getting more and more stressed out as you hear this howling noise coming from somewhere inside the room. This room is, I would say, like football field sized wide, right? And like I said, cylindrical. As you make your way further into the room, from like off in the distance, you see like this cryo tube come out of the floor, and then it puke its contents out a of this like dark-headed man, completely nude. He lays there on the floor for a second, and it's only moments before one of those things descends upon this guy, and then 2 of those things, and then 3, and then 4, until there's probably about 20. Just
As they're sort of leaping on this guy, I'm going to try and put a bullet in his head. It seems like it seems like the kindest thing to do. He's about to get eaten alive by like 20 of these things.
Yeah, roll your combat.
So I have succeeded by 5.
So we won't even roll damage. We'll say that it hits, but the shot makes a pretty echoing noise in the cavern, or not the cavern. Jesus Christ, we're on fantasy too much.
28 damage.
In this chamber, and they turn their attention from eating this guy, and then they all kind of raise up and they sniff the air, and they start kind of doing like crawling, but they're like in search, but they're making their way towards you for sure, you guys.
Nice.
After hearing the shot. And I would also say that you're going to have to take another sanity check for watching them eat that guy.
All of us.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Everybody who's seen him.
I failed my sanity check.
You take 8 stress and then make a panic check.
Sanity. I succeeded.
I grabbed a beer. What are we rolling?
We're watching some of the like alien mutant things eat a dude that just came out of a cryo chamber.
Oh yeah. Did he shoot him?
Yeah, he shot him and killed him. But it made an echo in the chamber, and now they're coming in your guys' direction.
I passed my stress.
Boring.
Seriously?
So what do you guys do as these things are sniffing the air, coming your direction? They're not like booking it yet.
Is there something I could throw away?
I look at the. I look at whoever shot that with disbelief, like they are the dumbest person that must have ever been born.
That's fine. In response, in a deadpan voice, I'll say, "You're worried about me saying thank you. You're opening a door, but you're quite happy to let someone be eaten alive. I think your priorities might need realigning."
And
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let him continue to talk, and I'm going to back away.
So Casey, there's like bones all over the ground, so you can totally throw something.
Yeah, I want to take something I feel like maybe a femur or something I could just boomerang off into the distance.
And you hear it like clamor on the cold metal ground, and they all kind of turn their head and start like running off in that direction. And then this whole time that they're doing this, they're kind of fighting each other as well, right? Like they're fighting over the dude. Some of them return back to the guy and start eating that guy again. And then you hear like bigger footsteps on the ground, and you see, excuse me, you see this like 10-foot version. It's basically the same thing as these mutant humanoid things, but 10 foot tall, and he's wearing like, well, it looks like armor, but it's like sewn into his skin, or like grafted on into his skin.
Shit. Yeah,
and he like he takes the back of his hand and like smacks one of the other smaller mutants off of the dude and starts to devour the guy.
yeah. I guess can we like? I'm gonna fall back, but trying to like push everybody that way. Like, let's go. Like, let's rethink this plan.
Do we need to do a fear check on that one though?
I was gonna let it forego since we just took like 4 in a row. But if you want to take one, I don't like.
Nah, I'm cool.
1 second, I need to let my cat in. I'll be right back.
I'm just thinking that we might want to rethink our plan here. Maybe go over.
We need to hurry up and get out of here as fast as possible.
I'm thinking our goal might not be the most important thing at the moment.
The lady says, "If you want to go to the core, this is the only way."
But getting the power on might not be one of our first priorities. We might have to. I'm thinking we might need to face this in a different.
I think going forward and getting the power on is probably the only thing we need to worry about, because without it, eventually life support will go.
Okay, looking at the path the woman said we need to take across this chamber, how near does it go to the creatures?
If you skirt around the edges, there's a wide berth. Like you'll give them a pretty decent.
Right, so I'm going to turn towards the others and say, I'll create the distraction. You get round the edge and get to the call.
They're already distracted, right?
Yeah, but as soon as we start moving, they're going to come after us again.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest you guys break left and make for the exit. I'll break right and create a distraction. Hopefully, buy you enough time to get through to the call.
Okay. Are you planning on joining us after the distraction?
If I make it out, I'll meet you in the call.
Damn. Okay.
And then, like I say, my plan is just to take off one way to go to the exit. I'm going to go off to the other side and wait until they've sort of got a bit of distance, then try and make a loud and probably firearms-based distraction.
I'd probably slap hands and be like, "That's like much respect" type thing.
I just sort of nod. I hold the sort of like necklace I've got around, then give him a salute and break off in that direction.
I hand the guy a Hellhammer dubbed onto a cassette, some random album. I'm like, here, take that, and like, just make sure you try to give it back. Kind of like a token of, I don't know, what is it, like friendship or something.
I nod and accept it, and then I'm going to I sort of punch in a sort of friendly manner, tone on the chest, and just say, make sure they get to the call. And then I'm going to sort of, as quietly as possible, I'm trying to make my way in the opposite direction to them, so that when I start making my loud distraction, it'll draw them away from the exit to where the rest of the group are trying to get to.
All right. So, that makes sense to me. If you guys want to narratively do this scene, that'll work too, if that's okay with you guys. Because we're also getting close to like the 3-hour mark where, but I don't want to quit quite yet. But we could probably get through this scene narratively, right?
Okay, yeah. So as the other guys start making their way towards the exit, presumably with the woman, I'm going to head in the opposite direction, moving quite carefully, like picking my way over stuff so as not to make a noise. Then once I'm a good distance away from them, I'm going to hunker down behind whatever machinery, bones, etc. there are, almost sort of like lying down and bracing my rifle. I'm going to take careful aim to the large creature, then fire a single burst at him. And once I've started doing that, I'll stand up, still firing, start shouting, making as much noise as I can to try and draw them all to me, so everyone else can get to the exit.
So you've definitely got all 21 of their attention, and they start to enclose around you. Now, what do you do whenever they get close?
Okay, I've got 2 more bursts after I fired the one at the big creature. I've got 2 more bursts left on my SMG. So as they're closing in, I'll fire off those 2 bursts, and then I'll drop the gun to the floor because it's useless. Pull out my stun baton, and as they reach me, I'm basically just going to wade in. And again, I'm not really expecting to survive this. I'm just trying to like buy as much time as possible for the rest of the guys to get to the exit. So I'll just be sort of like wailing about and trying to like knock out as many of them as possible.
So you guys watch as Gunnar takes on this entire troop of ape-like anglerfish mutant things as they pounce on him.
That's it. I'll be like, you'll hear me like screaming. I'm like, come on, you mutant bastards! And like laying about me with the stun baton, like screaming at the top of my voice again, just to try and cover any noise they might make, and also to keep their attention on me.
I don't know. Is it all right if you die right now?
Yeah, it's fun. I'm sort of expecting to.
Because I mean, I like mechanically with like 21 of them versus just you. I think
that's absolutely fine. In his mind, Gunnar's sort of gone like, right, if they attack all of us, we're probably all going to die. Whereas if I create the distraction, then at least 3 of us have got a chance of getting to the core. And
So-
in his mind, it's a simple numbers thing. He's like, one of us die, or we all die.
You know they eat human flesh, and you know that they're like tribal like. So what
Yeah.
does Gunner's last moment look like?
I think what I'll probably do is, like, say, fire off all but my last burst, and then when they sort of like get close to me, I'll do the sort of thing, you know, you stick the gun under your own chin and like, so that I'm not alive while they're eating me.
And they start to, and you guys see them overwhelm him. He zaps a couple of them, and they fall down. But then you hear the last shot, and they all like enclose on him. The big one is kind of like batting the smaller ones away, and you see it like pick your friend up and start like just devouring it with its large jaws. And I think that's gonna warrant a sanity check from everybody.
My least favorite one.
I pass.
Oh, sweet. Pass.
I failed.
All right, so take 9 stress, and then do a stress check.
Okay. I got a 68. I passed. I got 68 over 38.
All right. So you guys follow the lady that is guiding you to the core around the outskirts of the room. She gets to the door and motions forward. She says, "I'm not going in there. This has already been too much."
You don't have to go in. We have the ability to do it ourselves. So, thank you for getting us here.
Well, why don't you come with us?
I told you there's hundreds of those things in there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll try to contact you after we're done.
As long as we get this ship unempowered, everything should correct itself.
I have my doubts about that.
She says, "Good luck," and she kind of skirts back the other way that you guys came from.
So I'm kind of confused. Did we clear out the core room?
No, so you're in the cryo chamber room, right? Which on this ship is apparently next to the core, right next to. Sorry, but it's like the area where like the general population. You didn't clear it out. Gunner just sacrificed himself so you guys could get to the other side.
Okay. All right. So can we head to the core from here?
It's right, like literally the next room.
Great.
Well, one of you wanna? It is like the door's obviously locked. Yes.
No, it's like pried open, like broken,
Right.
pried open.
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
check
because
it
they're
out.
coming out of there, of course.
So we can just go in.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I walk in.
I'll go in first.
So you enter this room, and the first thing that you kind of get is the smell. I don't know how many of you have witnessed a birth before in person, but there is a smell, right? And this is 10 times that fucking smell, right? It is another cylindrical room, a very tall room with like a column in the middle. The power flashes again, and the ship kind of shakes a little bit. Um, Cameron would know that, and would know that the more often that that power flashes, that the more likely that the core is going to have a full meltdown. Um, there, and Cameron would also know that the probably you as well, Casey. You'd probably also know that the core oh shit, what is the word for it? What is it called when something needs to release like gases?
Oh, venting.
Yeah, it needs to like be vented, right? Um, and it's a pretty simple operation, but
Like an exhaust, or just like
yeah, like it needs to be exhausted, like it's been like building up or something like that, and generally that is let out into space.
Yeah.
But somebody has to do it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But also, just if anybody wants to roll an intellect roll real quick, um, I'll give everybody or anybody.
Who has the highest intellect roll?
I think Cam did.
I have a 53.
Yeah, you're a scientist.
Nice. I rolled a 50 under 53.
So you suddenly realize, maybe from like a memory or something like that, that or you remember actually that this trip was only supposed to take 153 years, and that the core is supposed to last 10 times that, right, without any kind of issue.
Mm-hmm.
And you just that's something that you remember.
I see.
Now this room is again a cylinder with like a catwalk around the outside. You guys are on the catwalk that's around along the outside, and then there's a small thin bridge that kind of that goes into the middle, and there's like another column with a catwalk around it. And down below at the bottom of this, there are hundreds of these things, like wriggling and writhing, and you even see like one like legit pop out of like basic, not the ass obviously, but like that's what it looks like from your vantage point. But you watch as like they give birth just laying there, and they're kind of like twitching and shaking. There's like small versions of these things all covered in like this weird slime at the bottom of the
So, to vent this, is there like an emergency vent or?
yeah, that's exactly what you're going for, is on the other side of the, and it's in the center of the room across these little thin bridges.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just quickly as I can make my way over there. And so I know that these are supposed to last 10 times longer than the trip with no problem.
Yep.
Because like obviously we would probably live in this ship for a while in order to adapt to the surface and all that. Okay. And can you described a red light flashing that indicates the core might go out soon?
So it's not like a red light, it's more like the power seems to kind of like even the auxiliary power is like
Surging.
like the light, yeah, surging.
Okay. All right. So we got to vent this. But I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the core itself.
Probably not. I mean, not from what you know about it. No, it's probably just needs to be vented.
Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna begin to move across this bridge as quickly as I can, and I'm gonna try and get to the terminal or whatever I need to get to,
So
in order to begin venting operations.
as soon as you step onto the bridge, it's quite apparent that this thing is not stable. One of the like connections breaks and starts to kind of tilt over, and then the power surges again and the ship kind of shakes. So I'm going to need you to make a strength save.
Oh no.
Everyone?
Well, this is where I die.
Did you say everybody makes that?
Anybody who's on the bridge.
Well, I said I was making my way around across it already.
Um,
64 over 28.
Yeah, I
Okay.
failed.
So the two of you, if you guys are making your way across, the people who are qualified to do this, you kind of like fall into the pit of these things.
Shit.
They and like a small one kind of like looks at you with these like sightless eyes, and then starts like this like loud like squawking noise.
I'm gonna quickly as I can try and find like a ladder to get up.
Yeah, there's like 4 of them all around the room. It's not hard to find one. But these things start to rouse, and then as soon as all that noise starts happening from the direction that you guys came from, you see one of the mutant things pop its head out, and one of you might even be standing next to the door pretty close, and it gives this like big whiff, like it's smelling for you, and then makes its way to the edge and kind of smells again and jumps down and starts kind of searching for you guys.
Is there any like egg residue or anything like that? Like these things are giving birth. Is it like live birth?
Yeah, you watched as one just like popped out of the ass of the.
I'm gonna reach down. I'm gonna like get on my knees real quick, and I'm gonna like grab up like the blood or whatever soupy stuff is here. I'm gonna begin to smear it on my lab coat. I want to smell basically like this blood. Like so they're trying to smell for like flesh to eat, and I'm like coating my lab coat and stuff with like this blood, trying to not smell like something to eat.
So as soon as you cover yourself in the blood, the small one that's walking in front of you like gives another whiff and then stops making any noises.
I'm gonna start covering myself in that too upon seeing that.
The same thing, like you're like the thing kind of looks confused for a second and then lays back down next to what you would assume is its mother. And these things are lining the floor basically. So you probably even fell on some of them, but they're like they don't seem like they're like as ferocious as the other ones. They're just like birthing machines basically.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to try to move up. Maybe just grab my own lighter too.
And what do you do, Steven, whenever this one pops its head out and starts like smelling down towards the pit? You're like behind it, like.
Who are you talking to?
Steven.
oh, am I down there with them?
No, you're up at the top, and you in one of those, like the we'll just say the males, one of the males, like walked into the room and is like smelling around for you.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a circular thing, right? So can I start moving slowly away towards
Yeah,
like
totally.
one of the other bridges?
And again, it's like smelling and like moving slowly, and it seems to smell you a little bit, but it's still like trying to make its way. Like it still seems like it can't see you or anything like that.
Okay, then yeah, I want to try to away from the direction that it is.
And then you guys are gonna try to climb the ladders.
Yeah, I'm gonna as quickly as I can start making my way to a ladder, and if I can, I want to crawl out as close to like the terminal or the venting thing whatever. I want to crawl out there as quickly as I can.
All right. Well, you can. There's ladders on either side, so you can get pretty close to it because the thing in the middle is like a smaller cylinder, so it's not very big around. It's probably like 10-foot diameter or whatever. So the goo seems to work. It doesn't, or the blood and guts and shit that you guys put on yourself seems to work. And you make your way over to the ladder and you get up to the vent, or the venting procedure. The power flashes again. The cylinder shakes, almost throws you off again. And then on Steven's side over there, the thing smells again and then turns its sightless face towards you, and it's going to try to attack you.
It's going to try and attack me?
No. What, Tone?
Ah.
Yes.
So it is unsuccessful in attacking you. What do you do in response?
Well, I'm definitely not going to shoot him, so I will use my stun baton and see if I could immobilize him.
Yeah, do it.
Try to be as quiet as possible. So that would just be a combat roll, yes?
Yep.
Success.
All right. So he takes 1d10 damage and makes a body save. Actually, let's see.
9 damage.
And he fails his body save and becomes unconscious. So you zap this thing down. You guys are now standing in front of this this emergency venting. And what it is like you grab it and you turn it and you pull it, basically. And I imagine you do that as soon as you get to it, right?
Yeah. Do I need to like make some kind of roll? Mechanical repair, maybe?
I think we covered it with that intelligence roll from before that got you all that information. So
Okay.
You reach over and you turn this handle and you pull it, and like all of the everything below you ignites, and all of these things you hear like the screams, and it sounds like very human as all of these things kind of get burnt up in this venting procedure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But all of the noise and all the lights come back on as soon as you do this. As soon as that venting procedure is over, all the lights come back on. All of the panels for the doors, those all light back up. But all of the commotion brings all 21 of those things back to the door. And standing at the door with, you look, and standing at the door with like her like steel staff, is the lady. You guys never asked her name, but it's Jessica Reynolds, standing there, and she's like trying to hold them off for you guys. And there's another exit on the other side of the chamber.
Yeah, I've run that way.
Yeah, same here.
I'm gonna aim my SMG and take a couple shots to see if she can get free and get like some space to run, join us, and then I'll take off running as well.
All right, go ahead and roll a combat.
Success.
All right, how much damage?
3.
So she's like fighting these things, and she looks back. She's like, "Don't worry about me. Go. Just get out of here now." And she starts fighting these things, and they start to overwhelm her. And it's not long before they're starting to pour into the room.
Okay. Then I just duck my head and turn and run.
So you guys run out into the corridor, and you guys just run like aimlessly down one of the hallways or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna attempt to like while we're running now that the lights are on and stuff. Like I kind of want to find like a small place I can crawl into and wait a bit.
So as you're running, one of the bay doors opens and your captain steps out and he says, "How did you guys get here? What was this? What was the threat that you were talking about?"
They're monsters. They're aliens. I don't know. I've never seen them before. We cooked the babies.
And these things are like making their way like after you, and he's like, "Quick, hurry up, let's get in here, let's get to the bridge and figure out the status of everything."
Yeah, I rush inside.
Mm-hmm.
Rush everybody inside.
And as soon as you guys rush in, he kind of slams on the door or on the panel next to the thing, and right before the doors close, you see like a glance of the these mutant things, and the doors shut. Right? He's like, "The power just came on. I'm assuming that was you guys, right?"
Yeah.
What was that? The core needed to be vented. There's no telling how long it's been. That core is supposed to run for up to 10 years, past the time that the trip would take.
Well, it's been. I don't know the specifics.
Trip
But
is supposed to
body
take
was.
100.
That first body we encountered was pretty decayed.
How long would it have taken for the heat to build up like that?
Like in the what did we say originally? 10 times the 135. So like.
Okay, so yeah, so that's what you were
1,000
saying.
years.
It's been that long.
He said
Yeah.
it was 1,000 years.
Like it would take at least 1,000 years for that much heat to build up.
Holy shit.
We've been on this ship for at least 10 times longer than we were destined to be on it.
Whenever you say that, he kind of puts his hands on the consoles, on the console, and he looks at you and he's like, "Ha, ha, ha, ha. You don't look like you feel too good. You look like you might be going crazy. 1,000 years."
I'm telling you, that's how long it would take that much heat to build up. To need to be vented that badly,
Don't
it
you
would
think?
take at least that long.
Don't you think? So make an intellect roll real quick.
Everybody?
This scientist.
Isn't there a computer or something now that the power's back on that gives us the date?
Yeah, totally.
Let's check
I
that out.
failed by 1, 54.
54. So you kind of like a little bit I guess fuck it. I shouldn't have held this behind a roll anyway. You can kind of remember that that the emergency procedure is that after the 135 years is to be woken up every 35 years until you find civilization, and you haven't been woken up. So somebody would have to override that protocol.
Well,
And Casey, you try to go over to the console and try to figure out the date.
Yeah.
So like as soon as you get over to the console, the captain says, "What are you doing?"
I'm gonna like put it all. Well, I guess I wouldn't understand. Like, even though I didn't roll that intellect roll, would I would I've come to that conclusion that someone had to override that?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my stun baton and smash this dude.
All right, do it.
Now, what do I roll for that?
Combat.
Okay, just straight combat. Now, it says, oh, I guess that's just for Marines. I see. I failed like religiously bad.
So like he dodges out of the way, and he grabs the stun baton, and he's going to try to do it right back to you. And he also fails. So you guys are kind of like fighting. What are you doing, Cameron and Steve and Tone?
Well, when I see this, I'm kind of going to freak out. I'm going to grab my stun baton and I'm going to attempt to shock the captain with it.
Go ahead and make a combat roll.
Okay. Combat. Nope, I failed. I critical failed, 55.
And as you guys are like wrestling around, like you roll over the console, and the doors to the bridge open, right? And then everything kind of comes flooding back to you. You remember your positions on that bridge. You know that you're all pretty reasonably high ranking, and you remember the beginning of the space flight when the ship looked all nice and pristine, and you also remember the gentleman that was assigned the number of the cryo chamber that was empty whenever you guys awoke. And you remember your captain as well. You've never seen him act like this or anything like that, but you all also remember the tragic story of another colony ship where a captain had gone insane and done a flush of all of the cryo chambers. So 5,000 people dead is one of the tragedies of your lifetime, right? And you guys are like fighting and kind of rolling over, and the like I said, the bridge opens, and the out the windshield look, and it is completely black, not a star in the sky. So everybody who's looking out the front windshield needs to make a sanity roll.
Sanity roll.
I failed it one.
All right, so, and because we're getting near the end of the session, I'm going to have you guys take a decent amount of sanity for this one.
I forgot. Hold on, I haven't rolled yet. I succeeded.
Whoever failed their sanity roll takes 19 stress.
Yeah, I failed.
Yep, so 19 stress for you as well. And then make a stress check.
Okay.
I fucking passed.
I passed.
All right, so you guys aren't panicking. And Casey, as the captain is kind of fighting you, he pulls out a handgun from out of his waist out of his waistband that you hadn't seen before, and he fires a shot. It misses and it hits the windshield, and then all of a sudden, water starts to pour in through the hole.
Holy shit!
That he shot in the windshield, and then you see a large, like bioluminescent creature, almost like the anglerfish or whatever, right? Kind of like swim past the windshield.
I'm gonna. He still has the baton, I guess, since he took it from me. I'm gonna just try to run up and front kick him.
All right, combat roll.
I rolled a 2. Oh yeah.
All right, so and I guess right now would be a pretty decent time to wrap the session up, right? You guys managed to not die. So what happens now is Casey front kicks the captain, and he falls back and he hits the windshield, and I guess the bullet hole that's pouring water kind of made a stress in the glass, and it shatters the whole entire thing, and water starts like rushing in. Um, can everybody make a body save?
I fail.
Holy shit! I passed with a 3. I thought I was gonna fail. I had a 25 body.
What about you, Steven?
I pass.
All right. So
By 6.
the people who pass, um, you all kind of like pass out, and then you wake up like on the beach of this like planet. The fauna and the flora is unlike anything you've ever seen. It's absolutely a beautiful sunny day on whatever this planet. Unfortunately, Casey drowned and is now next to you, but the two of you wake up and you're on a beach.
Like stranded.
I mean,
Like,
not any less stranded than you were on the ship.
yeah, completely. We're out.
Okay, all right, I get it. I thought at first you were saying like we woke up from a dream or something.
No, no,
No.
no.
Okay.
And beside you, you can see this massive ship that that's just kind of, it looks like it crash landed on this planet, and it is like the front end of it is like in the water.
Okay,
Jeez.
nice.
Yeah, that's badass, man.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast. Everybody who watched, I think, was only like one person. I think my buddy watched or something like that. But have a good night.